very hateful. See, the thing with DJ Wow, or DJ Gomez, is that DJ learned that he can play straight when he wants, but when he wants to harm somebody, he gets, well, flamboyant. As if, oh, well, if I do it as if I'm incredibly gay, then it's wrong to say anything back to me, because then it's like a hate crime. Oh my god. But that doesn't detract from the fact that DJ Gomez has been implicated in at least 2 people's deaths, including Daniel Kitlitz. Not that the border police were ever going to actually investigate that. Daniel was homeless. So, having me a lot of problems with the inhumanity of humanity. How it's easier just to brush someone off and play victim later, isn't it? When I was gonna end my life back in 2016, DJ Wow was helping. That's when Natalie Bollinger came into my life. We were never boyfriend and girlfriend, never more than just friends. And we're never gonna be. Why'd everybody freak out? Because they were all on fucking drugs, all doing booze, all sexist. And of course, we taught girls how to not care about another man's life as long as you're not embarrassed. Right now, there's a lot of people who are very angry at the LGBT community, and I get why. When we bring up our predators, well, how dare we bring up predators in the LGBT community? You know what? According to y'all's definition, I am a part of the LGBT community. I'm certainly not straight, but I'm not into any sort of intimacy at all. So I'm told by my gay friends that I'm not LGBT, and I'm told by my straight friends that I'm not straight. Or I get made fun of for being straight, or I get made fun of for being LGBT. No matter what, just a whole bunch of hatred. And you get to hear how standoffish the cops get with me when crimes are committed against me and they want to pawn me off on mental health. No, mental health is supposed to help me because I'm disabled, not play stupid and draw it out and drag it out. Why do these officers keep sending me to mental health instead of working with them? They're not working with mental health if they're table talking. Why don't you tell me to my face, bitch? Gonna have meetings behind my back, make it impossible to get the recordings, not pay any attention to what's actually going on. Y'all are sick. On the bright side, I got that officer's card, Warrenton PD. Appointment after appointment after appointment to all sorts of places. Here's one with Janelle Boggs. Now, I repeatedly went in there and told them about the crimes that are being committed against me. I also told them that I record everything because I have to. This is Dr. Janelle Boggs. Tillamook Community Health Centers. The thing is, when I call these places by myself, I get blown off. This is against the law for them to do it, but only if someone cares. Do any of you care? Don't talk to me about caring. If you actually cared, you'd gotten off your backside already. You'd already done something about it. But you haven't done anything about it because you're sexist. Because you're lazy. No matter what excuses you have, it doesn't take much at all to call somebody up and listen to them. They have no accountability. Alright, that was right after the Warrenton BS, being bullied by Officer McCoy. When you're a homeless person and you're abused, you're sent to mental health. Well, they don't do anything about the abuse. They don't even look at it. And the police won't look at it. They send you to mental health. Mental health won't look at it. They send you to the police. Back and forth, just like Claire says. It's not a hatred of the LGBT community. Until the LGBT community refuses to acknowledge the predators within its ranks, same as the police refuse to acknowledge the predators within theirs, to the point that they all become predators. When women refuse to acknowledge the predators within their ranks, that makes them all predators and all delusional. Are we going to pretend that all people are delusional, all men are delusional, all women are delusional? Just you neurotypicals tend to be delusional. You talk about, oh, I do this and I do that, but in reality, no, you wouldn't. Hearing all these daddies talking about what they'd do if somebody touched their kid inappropriately, and then come to find out a lot of them are touching them kids. You know who's more likely to touch your child inappropriately? Between a homeless person and your daddy, or even your mom. 80% of the time, it's your mom or dad. 80% of the time. Only 1 in 1,000 for somebody who's a complete stranger. Did you know that? But you guys see the homeless and you point at them and say they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and you stay away from them and you train them to do that since birth. As long as I've been alive, I've had to hear that stuff. I've also had to live the reality of it. The reality of it is we do get predators out here, and you let them go. And you blame whoever the closest hobo happens to be, and you lock him up. You take away everything that he has going for him, and you keep him locked up until he folds, until he gives up. Because he doesn't have money for bail like the child molesters do. He doesn't have money for bail like the drug dealers do. He doesn't have a mom who he can move in with, who's going to post all that, like the rapists. Then when they come out on the streets hunting for somebody to hurt, they find somebody to hurt. And nobody's going to believe them. Nobody's going to believe that a CU basketball player goes down to Pearl Street, to find himself little boys that he's got a crush on because, well, lo and behold, what's the problem there? Well, he's trying to maintain a hetero-Christian image. More than one, well, none of these people were underage, so somehow magically that makes it okay too, doesn't it? Right? Where he took boys home with him. That's what he's looking for down there. These kids are still in high school. Sure, they're 18, but they're still attending high school. And this guy goes down there and he takes these kids that are in high school, the scary ones, the ones that ran away from their mom and dads, but technically they're an adult, so the police can't do nothing. Their parents can't do nothing. And this CU student go down there and he gets these boys just fresh out into the world. They're in a town that's ungodly expensive. They're homeless and they're trying to finish high school. And what's this guy do? He invites them to his house, says, hey, I'll let you stay on my couch for a bit. The same thing that a lot of these students do with homeless women. Hey, I'll invite you home. You can get a shower. You can do this. You can do that. What does it end up being? Drinks or roofies or drugs. Standing in front of the door so you can't leave. Saying, oh, well, I'll just call the cops and say that you stole something from me. Oh. What happens when you go to the police about something like that? You should ask Teresa Macelia. No, she is not a boy who had to endure that. She's a girl who had to endure that. We keep assigning these gender roles to stuff. You know what? DJ Wow is a bad guy. Either way. DJ Wow sometimes identifies as a he, sometimes as a she, depending on the day. So this is one of the things that gets complicated about the them, they. Some of the people that I know who use them, they pronouns, it's not always them, they. It depends on the social setting. I've had DJ Wow in front of me on the Pearl Street Mall yelling at people, I'm a boy. Literally yelling at people, I'm a boy, while dressed in drag. Because somebody got the wrong pronoun. See, this is what people are sick of. Now, DJ Wow has been involved in assisting people to end their own existence. And see, we gotta curtail the First Amendment, our amendment to freedom of speech. We have to try to change our words to mean something else so that we can change the word suicide to selectively ending one's own existence. There's a lot of people that want to type a lot of real hateful words at me, and they figure if they change one little number or letter, then magically it's not meant to be the same word. Like when someone types N1GGER, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure anybody in their right fucking mind, other than a Facebook algorithm, is gonna fucking catch that. Meanwhile, a lot of the people that I know in the LGBT community, I can't go to them about my problems, even though my problems are worse. See, if their problems were that bad, why didn't they come to somebody for help? And if they did, why wasn't it me? If they didn't reach out to me for help, that's not my fault. If I offered the help and they turned it down, it's not my fault. I end up in a lot of racist redneck places where they hate the LGBT community. But also look at what they're seeing. Look at all these people glued to Facebook and TikTok. Look at how many old women you know that are addicted to that. Facebook and TikTok, Facebook and TikTok. Where do you have time for a family and friends? Meanwhile, after I hurt my back, couldn't carry my backpack. It was too heavy. I couldn't even leave that one block with Starbucks for like 6 months, not without assistance. I did not have an income and didn't have a way to make an income. I lost my job because I hurt my back. Some of the people that were involved in helping me move the gun lathe the day that I injured myself there in Boulder, some of them are dead. Like John L. Harder, he went by Johnny Redcorn, or just Redcorn. He's dead. He helped me move that gun lathe. He was there when I got hurt. The problem with my back injury is that when I carry a backpack, it hits me right in that injury. So I try to find other ways to carry things. There's also the fact that there's an impact issue in there, and I don't know what the hell is going on, but when I'm constantly moving around from place to place to place to place, I only get to go in for emergency visits. When they tell me to set myself up with a primary care provider and all this other stuff, like I'm constantly on the phone with places that aren't listening. And that's not okay. It's not okay that for the rest of my life I'm going to take abuse from hospitals, from police, from local communities, because you just simply don't care about the homeless. There's lots of LGBT people on the streets, lots of straight people on the streets, lots of neurotypicals on the streets. There's also a lot of people like me, autistic do-gooders. I have Asperger's. It's not the same thing. I'm not prone to violence. I can't even use that word without reliving, at least in part, abusive situations that I've been in for trying to turn in my predators because I had to go in alone. When you go in with a friend or family, it'll get taken seriously. If you go in at the very start, but once you've made them go in by themselves just once, and they've been blown off, after that, it is hard work to try to get heard. And any predator can harm you and then play victim afterward. And it's your word versus them, unless somebody actually cares to speak up. And do they? No. I went to my friends in the LGBT community, and no matter what, it was always being talked over about how I just need to shut up and get to the back of the bus because I don't have real problems. I can't. I'm a hetero. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, DJ Wow is popular for being a drug dealer. Also popular for trying to get people all messed up on drugs to do things. Now, as far as I know, DJ never played basketball, so DJ isn't the culprit in that particular case. But when it comes to deaths of several homeless people, yeah. DJ's drug of choice is, what do you need? DJ will go find it. Make a little bit of a profit. Might not come back. And I'm stuck out here being pawned off by mandated reporters onto drug addicts out here on the streets. I need someone to make these calls with me like a friend or family member would. Otherwise, I'm stuck out here recording more of this abuse. But the difference between myself and most homeless people is that I do record the abuse. I just don't have any help turning it in. That is the one thing that I have needed my entire life, is that because I'm a male, I can't turn in crimes that are committed against me. That doesn't mean I don't need to. Look at what happened with the situation with Natalie Bollinger. People just wouldn't leave me alone. I went to friends, I went to not to family, to people who claimed to be family. People who called me family when they wanted something. Does that say 6%? No, good. Alright, somebody said they would help me, typed something at me, and I'm hoping this person will help. That they gotta be more than just a Facebook name or a YouTube moniker, like mine is Dogged Roman. You know, there's stuff that does help us to get our minds off how the world sucks, but you know, I can't enjoy any of that because people are going to be hateful at me for taking any time at all whatsoever for any sort of entertainment for myself to get my mind off of things. I'm a very interactive person. Watching TV shows just ain't my thing. Video games, between watching Game of Thrones about brothers humping sisters and all that killing and friggin' stupidity. You know, I'd much rather play Rome Total War. You know what I'd much rather play over Rome Total War? It's a good question, isn't it? I don't so much like the small unit tactics, the first-person shooter games, or anything like that. For the most part, I like games like War Thunder on low graphics. It's just a machine. I'm not imagining somebody's uncle or cousin or anything like that while I'm blowing up an enemy ship or putting a hole through an enemy tank. You get to hear how many people around me, when I try telling them what's going on, they just want to jump straight to talking about killing people. And if I speak up about how wrong that is, I get treated like I'm threatening to kill people. I'm not allowed to show the actual evidence of what happened. It's one of my predators selling a narrative with one little part. Oh, come on. Meanwhile, I gotta try to find someone to care. But everybody talks over me. Everybody's got worse problems than mine, and they don't know what the hell's even going on in my life. Meanwhile, if I know what's going on in their life, it's because they told me when they claimed that they was going to help me. I gotta use up more gas to keep electricity here. Like, I don't have any friends. Do you not understand this? Most of the time, if somebody comes up and talks to me, it's because they're trying to get drugs or alcohol. Or like Christian, he's already messed up on drugs or alcohol, and he wants to pee on my car. Oh, fucking bug bites. This is Marcia Estrada. Marcia Estrada named First State Bank Community Champion for September 3 years ago.
Early payday, fee-free overdrafts.
Oh, come on.
Fee. Chime,
Nobody wants to hear this crap. Come on.
The First State Bank Community Champion for the month of September has spent the last 40 years helping others through counseling. FSB President Mike Downey made a surprise stop this week to the Cirrus House in Scottsbluff to honor Marcia Estrada.
For all your service.
Hey, see this? I'm sent to services that are in other counties, other jurisdictions, over and over. Go to another jurisdiction, another jurisdiction, another jurisdiction. So I'm sent to these mental health workers that are supposed to help, right? What are they helping with? They're not being understanding of my disabilities. Matter of fact, many of them are taking advantage of them wholeheartedly. Alright, this one is still going down for some reason.
For so many years. So we just think that you're very deserving, and we want to give you this plaque.
Oh, thank you.
And also we have a little item for your desk.
Oh,
So
okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet.
Estrada started her career working at a halfway house back in 1979, and after that closed in 1984, she helped organize the Cirrus House. She says being surrounded by a committed team and members keeps her going after all these years.
The people I work with, both the staff and the members that I work with, and seeing the progress that they make, and
Now, listening to that, let's listen to what she has to say about some of her coworkers, like Tamara and Jen Beebe. Here it is. About the rest of my teeth. They're rattling off the lot. When I set them down, they stopped. And when I pull them out of my teeth and grab them so they wouldn't rattle.
good morning.
Good morning.
They sent us on a detour clear because they're working on that road there.
I had the same detour, so you're good.
Okay. Like what?
A lot of people got a bad habit of they go through it that it didn't happen. I went through the same roundabout that they took people, so it's alright.
I got road construction in Sydney. A lot of people that I explain this stuff is happening. Like if I explain to somebody that I missed the little detour to get to their office, well, they hit the same detour, so they were already aware of it. If they'd have come from the other direction, they wouldn't have hit that detour. And if that would have happened, well, they wouldn't have possibly even known about the detour, and to them it might have just been an excuse in their head, but it's still the reality of what happened. The reality of what happened is I hit a detour, and Thank goodness she hit the same one. I mean, that shows that I'm not just making stuff up, you know?
So how far is Chapel for you? 29 miles. 29, okay. Yeah, when Tamara worked for Region 1, she...
That's one of the things about jurisdiction as well. Like, she's from Scotts Bluff. Sierra's house was out of Scotts Bluff. Region 1 is out of Scotts Bluff. Nebraska State Patrol Troop E is out of Scotts Bluff. And then I'm told none of it matters in Chapel because it's all in another jurisdiction, just like Megan Missigatis, all the way in Lincoln, another jurisdiction. Now, all those jurisdictions will work together to help Scott DaCosta. And yes, every single police officer does favors for every other police officer. I was assaulted by Waylon Lolatai. So I'm not treated very well by officers. I was charged with assault for being assaulted. Nobody cares about that though, do they? No. No, we gotta focus on the LGBT community. We have to focus on people who are flamboyant bullies. It's okay to be gay. It's even okay to be flamboyantly gay. It is not okay to be a flamboyant bully because you think you'll get away with being a piece of shit because you act like you're a homosexual. That is fucking cruelty. That is cowardly. Oh, I get to speak and nobody else does. No, Straight men are victimized often because of shit like this. White men are victimized often by people who want to pretend that a white man said the N-word. You got no idea how many black people I've seen smacking white people around in my lifetime. Actually smacking them upside their head. The white boy don't want to fight. While a black man screams at him, calling him cracker. And whitey and honky and all sorts of other stuff. Saying, call me the N-word. I dare you, call me the N-word. Man, could you just not? I don't turn away from the predators in my community. I expose predators of every color. And I protect people of every color. I protect people that are gay. I protect people that are straight. I protect people that are men and women to the best of my ability. But it don't matter. You ain't gonna do shit about it. You're just gonna say, oh, I can't do nothing. Bullshit. Bullshit, you can't do nothing. Instead of speaking in general about how it's wrong, get in on them individual cases and help people. Actually help people that are in that position. Understand what they need. Not interrupt them with an assumption that you had that you're just going to keep on throwing at them. These cops in every single one of these scenarios knew they were doing wrong. And you know what's even more fucked up than that? So did every single mandated reporter. This video is called Marcia Estrada, LIMHP, talking about Cindy Taylor, Jen Beebe, Tamara, and DaCosta. She also states very loudly and clearly that I am not schizophrenic. And they need to knock this shit off. They were able to deny me my rights as a human being by pretending I was schizophrenic. Police did this, you pieces of shit. There's a reason that they couldn't get mental health people to actually sign off on that. It's called malpractice. And I aim to see these people lose their licenses for writing something down that they very well should have gone to prison for already. When a police officer tells an at-risk adult something that is not true, that's not our fault. And it's not our fault that all they have to do is force you to go through 6 months of paperwork to get a fucking body camera. Because they're going to protect each other from the felonies they commit. Look at how many felonies Waylon Lolatai committed. He didn't just assault people after me. He assaulted many people. Many people. He assaulted a man in Denver before he assaulted me. What happens if you assault people as a police officer? Police officers don't want to do their jobs. They pawn us off on mental health. Mental health isn't looking at evidence either. They're setting you up for therapy, committing fraud. How's someone like me supposed to be able to afford all that? See, the thing is, all these places are trying to push me around to housing. First of all, they're not listening to the issue with housing. Second of all, I'm going to them because they're supposed to be mandated fucking reporters. God damn it. They're supposed to work with the police and the victim. Not trying to make it a my word versus theirs. See, the police know that they're committing felonies. And these mental health workers know that they're committing felonies. The cops know that the mental health people are committing felonies. The mental health people know that the cops are committing felonies. But as long as they're not in the same room at the same time when they're committing the felonies, it's fine. They're supposed to be in the room at the same time, and they're supposed to listen to me. Instead, you see how I get bullied when I try to turn these pieces of shit in. How easy it is to do by insinuating. The police make a couple insinuations. The Bollingers make a couple insinuations. Nobody bothers to find out if it's true. And nobody bothers to listen to me or look at my evidence because they're too busy pushing me through mental health. Now what the fuck are you going to do about it, you pieces of shit? Not a goddamn thing. You're going to get pissed off at me because I didn't remember if you wanted to be a boy or a girl today. You're going to be angry because of oppression, while you're telling people who have been beaten up their whole lives for being gay, who aren't actually gay, that they don't know what it's like to be beaten up for being gay. All right, whatever. What we teach in America is hatred. And who is easiest to victimize? And that's who you go after. If women are the stalkers, it's fine, isn't it? You'll just blame any man who gets busted and say, oh, I didn't know he was going to do that. Bullshit. When you lie about a man like that, you know exactly what you're trying to do. You know exactly what you're trying to accomplish, and so do we. You're playing on bias and trying to get someone to hurt an innocent man. I can't trust these places who have committed crimes against me to do their jobs. They're not going to turn in their coworkers. They're not going to turn in the crimes against me. They're going to make zero attempt. And all of you who say, oh, well, this stuff on the internet doesn't count, that stuff on the internet doesn't count. Really? The stuff on the internet does count. They were able to harm me by pulling out little bits and pieces of things that I said and using them completely out of context. Stuff from the internet. You know why? Because I didn't break any fucking laws in real goddamn life. What I did is speak up, exercise my First Amendment rights, go to my friends and family for help. That's not stalking, you stupid sons of bitches. But sure, I'm not gay, so I should go to the back of the bus. I'm not black, so I should go to the back of the bus. I'm not a woman, so I should go to the back of the bus. Go fuck yourselves. You help child molesters, murderers, and rapists to get away.